I'd like to invite you to meet my grandfather, Banarsi Das Saraf. He was a freedom fighter during the revolution against the British. And as it turns out, on the day that my father was born in 1946, my Dadaji, my grandfather, was sitting in jail with Gandhi. So I grew up with stories about my grandfather, who was this tenacious survivor who never gave up. So of course, India gains its independence, right? But the country is in chaos, the economy is in turmoil, and our family, we were jewelers, we're struggling. My dad grows up with total uncertainty. So one day he decides he's gonna come to America to achieve the dream. And he comes with my mom with a very simple belief that with hard work and education, they can make it. And eventually I'm born into this legacy of courage, of justice, and of never giving up, no matter how hard it gets. And in March of my senior year in high school, the market collapsed, my parents were in real estate, and my parents lost everything. This did not look like success. It certainly is not what they came for America for. And I watched them carry whatever they could into a small home near my high school. And my dad used to cry and try to hide it from my sisters and I, because he didn't want us to see him as like a failure. And what he did in that moment was to surround himself with his community. Not just the organizations he was involved in, but his Indian community. And they did this really important thing, which was they told my sisters and I the truth. They surrounded us with love, with hope, and with faith. So I'm 18, right? And I decide, wait, I have heard about my grandparents struggling. I've now watched my parents struggle. Hold on, I have an idea. I have a plan. I'm never gonna struggle. Like, if I just do all the right things, I won't ever have to struggle. So I've spent the last 25 years as a lawyer, as an investment banker, as an insurance agent, as a professor, and realized that I had been applying this RISE framework my whole life. I just didn't know it. And my job here today is to help you think and feel differently about struggle and uncertainty and how we can create community around that. I was hustling at the gym, I was missing dinners, my kids started asking me, Mommy, when will you come home? And I started having marital problems. And I forgot to be present for the people, for my community, because I kept hustling for the next thing. And I was so trapped in this mindset of a self-imposed prison that I had put myself in. Because I thought that the only thing that defined me was my achievements, was getting the next thing. So when my kids are 2 and 3, I get the chance to meet a real estate developer. Does anybody remember what was happening in 2007? Some nods, right? Like the market was insane. Miami was no stranger. And I get a chance to meet a real estate developer. And this is what's going on in my head. So I'm sitting there and I'm singing to my children. And as I'm sitting there, I look down at my BlackBerry, because that's how long ago this was. And I look down at my BlackBerry and an email comes in. I have a question. Does anybody think I should answer this email? So I open the email, and in the email is one line that reads, something that really gave me pause. Like my stomach jumped. It did not feel right. And there was an attachment to the email. And within like 5 seconds, I forward the email to somebody on my team, assuming that she would open the attachment and like tell me if there was something I should worry about. So why do I forward this email so quickly, even though my gut didn't feel right? So because I'm an anal human being, I made a spreadsheet of like 200 people that I knew. Friends from elementary school, college, law school, my kids' friends' parents, their teachers. I sit on a lot of boards in Miami, so like executive directors of nonprofits, politicians in Miami, managing directors of law firms in Miami, people that knew me and my history and my character. And one by one, I called my community and I told them. And I took full accountability. But instead of hanging up on me, I got 182 letters sent to the judge for me. Like, who gets that opportunity? I got eulogized before I died. Really, like, people shared stories about me from high school in a way that, like, I had touched them or inspired them. I didn't even remember. And it was such an incredible lesson for me, because though I thought people loved me for, like, the resume, people actually loved me for me. And what I recognize is that people are very forgiving of our humanity when we give them a chance. Right? Like, we're all so caught up in that what we should do and what we have to do that we forget that we are all humans living a flawed existence. So then once you identify who are the people and who is in your community, I believe we surrender. Like, okay, I had to physically surrender, right? But surrender to me meant I had to let go, because I was so trapped in ego. And ego is a trap. What are people going to think? What will people say? Who will love me now? What will happen to my reputation? I promise you, I felt all of it. Surrender looks like letting go of control, but we first have to let go of our own personal stuff. The silent prisons we keep ourselves in. Because here's the thing, I believe when we let go of power, we start to break down, we start to break down our walls. We start to break down all the limiting beliefs and the assumptions and the cultural norms and the orthodoxies and the stories that we tell ourselves that we have to live in order to be loved, in order to be successful, in order to be community. We convince ourselves of all these things, but they're all just self-imposed glass walls. And when we begin to let go, those glass walls start to shatter. By the way, I'm still like working on this. Like, my kids I've been working a lot lately. I just wrote my book. My kids are like, Mom, please start dating, right? Like, so I'm still trying to find joy. It's a daily thing. We have to keep reminding ourselves, like, find joy. So for me to be able to find it, sitting in county jail in the worst of the worst, reminded me that it's possible for all of us. No matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, no matter what kind of day we're having, we can get up, put some music on, and find joy. With our spouses, with our partners, with our kids, right? The other thing is like, when I was going through this, as you heard along the way, I thought I had to go it alone. I thought I couldn't ask for help. I thought nobody would support me in the hard moments. And what I realized is that when we rise through our hard moments, and yes, we got to go through it. We got to reframe and do all the things individually, but we are not in it alone. When we rise through our moments, we rise together.